Okay, this one I think is gonna take me a minute to talk about because it's something I'm very, very well aware of. So, girl, that's the closure. I'm good. It gives me such an ick. My mental health can't depend on what size is on a tag. See, I should have been acting like this the whole time. This is me. This is me. I'm just telling you guys, no side effect from birth control is worse than side effects from pregnancy. Hello everyone, my name is Jennica and welcome back to my channel. Today's a solo video and it's gonna be a little bit different. You guys, I can tell by the comments because I read all of my comments, so subscribe if you're new here and comment. Let me know if you're new from this video. But definitely some of your guys' favorite videos are my chatty ones, my just sit down and talk, and I thought that I would structure this one a little bit different. So I asked over on my Instagram for you guys to give me like girl talk questions, advice, uncomfy questions, big sis questions, like something that you would need if I was your big sis, which I am, if I was your best friend, which I am. What do you want to ask me, you know? Okay, let's see. I feel like I have a lot of interesting perspectives on things, and I've also just like been through a lot. So obviously everybody I feel like thinks their own advice is pretty good, but I feel like I have pretty good advice to give. Also, my car is running. I hope that the volume's not awful, but I mean, I have to have my car. But I wanted to do this in my car because I feel like, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I really do like to come home sometimes and just sit in the car for like 15, 20 minutes and scroll through Instagram, listen to that final song, whatever the case may be. I feel like people's cars are such like a cozy place that I felt like this might be a little bit cozy and just a change of scenery. I'm gonna start out strong here, okay? This one is, sounds lame, but how to be okay with being alone. First and foremost, that is absolutely not lame. I think that from the day we're born and throughout our school experiences, throughout even young adulthood, like everything that you do is in groups. You know, you're at school, you're playing, you're doing sports, you're at work, like everything that you do, you're in groups of people, and you don't have much alone time growing up, which is fine and normal, but it makes it almost seem like spending time with yourself isn't an option when you're older, or you're spending time with yourself and your just mind is running a million miles an hour. But right now at 30 years old, I can finally say that I not only am okay with being alone, but I love being alone. I feel like I've even gone from being an extrovert my whole life to developing a lot more introvert qualities because I've just gotten to a place where I am truly so happy with myself, with my home, and I like spending time with myself. So it's a process and it is a relationship. You know, you have to kind of take care of yourself like you're dating yourself, you know, make sure that you're getting that time for yourself, because even if you live in a situation where you can't be alone all the time, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. I just feel like the number one person that I need to make happy in this life is me. Like, I'm the only person that is going to be here every single day with me, and I need to ultimately do what makes me happy. And I know that there's so many people that think that's just selfish and that's whatever, but I do feel like the happiest times of my life have been when I've been happiest with myself. So date yourself. Make sure that you are, you know, going out of your way to, if you see some flowers and those are going to make you happy for the week, grab them. You know, if you really are craving sushi, go have sushi. If you don't want to sit at the table by yourself, which is so underrated, you definitely should, pick it up for to go and bring it home, put on your favorite Netflix show, and just really truly romanticize those moments, because you have to eat dinner every night anyway. Why not put a little spice on it that makes it relaxing instead of feels like everything is a chore? Do you know what I mean? Okay, next up. How did you manage money when things are tight? Good side hustles? Question mark. I have done so many freaking jobs. Okay, I have done so many jobs. I have literally worked so many conventions, festivals. I remember when Uber first started, they had people like go, I don't even know how I got involved with this, but I would go and put an Uber t-shirt on, and I would go in downtown Nashville just on Broadway and ask people to download the app. And like, then of course, once they got to the information where they had to like put their credit card information in, they're like, what are you even talking about? And nobody knew what Uber was, and it was just so awful. And I think I used to make like $100 a day, maybe not even $100 a day doing that. I used to be like an extra on TV shows in Nashville. Like, they do some filming here, and I signed up to do extras. You would get paid for like 8-hour days. What else? Conventions, definitely. Any type of like festivals and stuff, they look for like pretty much paid volunteers, so you still will get paid to be there. I feel like now there's so many companies that have seen the benefit of being online. I know even like Warby Parker offers a part-time role that's completely remote. So there's so many companies that will offer part-time remote bespoke roles. There are some that let you to kind of like work on your own hours. I think it's so beneficial to always have multiple streams of income, and like that doesn't mean that all of them have to be like salary level incomes. Like just having an additional $100 here or $50 there is so convenient. If I was still working my corporate job, I think at this point I would for sure be doing like Instacart or DoorDash or something like that, just because that is something that you can get and really create your own hours. Because that's why I started YouTube in the first place, is because I needed a job where I truly needed to create my own hours around being a parent and also having a full-time job. Okay, this one says how to get closure when he's ghosting you. Girl, that's the closure. Any person that has the like disrespect for you, to prioritize their feelings of just not wanting to deal with you or cutting you off or whatever, that just puts such a bad taste in my mouth, and like there's no redemption for that for me. And I look at ghosting as also like just the easy way out too, because I'm like, oh, that showed me everything that I needed to know about that person and I'm good. It gives me such an ick. Just make ghosting give you an ick. Okay, next one says, any advice for a young girl who's traveling alone without her mom? This is advice for any young girl traveling at all with anyone. You just have to be, with or without, you just have to be so hyper aware of your surroundings when you're traveling, and truly just like never assume people are good. I mean, like most of the time places that are traveling have people in areas with just cons running. I mean, I just watched a YouTube video last week about a girl who was in a hotel lobby checking out and her camera got stolen. She knows a guy was distracting her while another guy stole the camera. Like that's definitely what happened, and she didn't want to be talking to that guy anyway. So I feel like it's so important when traveling to be kind, but you don't have to be polite. You can make it aware that you're, you know, not interested in talking. It's just so hard because you never know what's gonna set, let's say it, a man off, because that's who we're scared of. Let's be freaking honest. You just have to be hyper aware. You just have to be hyper aware of your surroundings, and don't think that something's not gonna happen to you, because I've heard so many stories of friends getting scammed on trips, or, you know, things getting stolen or things happening, or worse. I mean, your life is what's most important. Just be so aware of your surroundings and use maps. Make sure you know where a good, like, highly populated place is. If you're walking places, or if you've got a headphone in, keep one of them out, maybe just so you can keep a constant eye out for what's going on around you. Oh, also, this is a little fun one to go along with that. Invest in a little tripod, because there's just nothing more fun than having cute little photos of yourself on these like fun self-love adventures of traveling without your mom or alone or even with people. Like, just get a tripod. The one that I have, I don't have it with me. I will link it down below. It's always in my Amazon shop, but it like folds up to something that's like almost like this size, and then it expands out to a tripod, and I can sit it anywhere and take little pictures of me and Annika. So definitely invest in a tripod as well, so you can get good pictures of yourself. Okay, this one I think is gonna take me a minute to talk about because it's something I'm very well aware of. So this one says, I've gained a lot of weight over the pandemic due to mental health. As someone who has done unhealthy dieting, I want to focus on well-being. So I guess my question is, how have you built confidence, especially with the trolls? Okay, so I have touched on this briefly, like literally at the very first start of our channel, so 2 years ago. I have ulcerative colitis, which is a colon disease, and I was going through a really terrible flare-up where our doctors were literally saying words that you don't want to hear in an exam room, but I had to be put on 2 different kinds of steroids that literally just blew me up. Like, I gained 80 pounds in 6 to 8 months, and in that 6 to 8 months my brain wasn't catching up with how my body was changing. Like, this just literally comes from being an adult to a child. Like, your body does change. So first and foremost, you have to stop expecting that your body is gonna look like your high school self the rest of your life. Like, I definitely don't think that this is as fit as I could be, but I definitely don't think that I need to look like high school Jennica looked. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think there's definitely a medium there that I would want to be in, versus like if you ask me to have my high school self back right now, like that's not healthy either. Do you know what I mean? So when I first had that drastic weight change, and it doesn't have to be something that happened within 6 to 8 months like that. I mean, it could happen over 5 years. Like, with any weight gain or just not looking like yourself, it's so draining mentally to just be constantly only thinking about your body. I mean, I got to the point where I would be out with my friends at the bars and I couldn't even have a good time in the conversation because I was worried about what the person behind me, if they looked over in my direction, is my like background hanging off. Like, that's just how my brain worked when I first started realizing, like, holy shit, like I just gained weight. I have none of my clothes fit, and I had such a hard time with different sizes. Like, it would come down to like I didn't want to buy certain sizes because I'm like, I'm not that size. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're a small person. Somewhere that's a 2 is an 8 somewhere else. So like, sizes just don't matter. And I wish that I would have caught on to that like right when I started gaining weight, that sizes just don't matter. Like, the way that clothes fit you is what matters. So if that means going up 2 sizes, you just have to look at it as like, their sizing is messed up, not like I'm messed up. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just crazy. My mental health can't depend on what size is on a tag. Do you know what I mean? So like, I had to stop associating myself with the number on the tag. So that helps, because as soon as I stopped doing that, then I was like, wow, there are clothes that fit me that are cute and that make me feel even better, because it turns out when you're not wearing clothes that are too small for you, you feel more confident. I also would like to say that I feel like when I did have my weight gain, I was in a point where I genuinely like did not have time to prioritize myself or my fitness or anything like that. And I think that that helped me on it. It was a double-edged sword, because I felt very stuck, but I just couldn't afford to eat like I needed to. I didn't have the time. I was leaving my house every morning at 6:30 a.m. and I wasn't getting home until 6:30 p.m. and then I was having to be a mom until 9 p.m. and then I was freaking tired and I went to bed. So I really honestly didn't let myself for like 2 years feel guilty about my situation, because I didn't have a lot of wiggle room. I started trying to get to work early, and we had a gym in the building, and I'd go walk on the treadmill. And of course, I've always, you know, tried to take my walks with Luna as a form of exercise. I tried to do the bare minimum, but I didn't let myself get caught up on my body at that moment, because I was like, look, this is what's happened, and I just don't have it in me right now to bounce back or whatever. So I'm just gonna have to be like this for a minute. Now I feel like I truly am in such a good space of, I eat so healthy. I eat exactly how, not exactly, because I have such an interesting relationship with food that could be a whole video itself. I need to figure out what the I like. But I don't eat bad. I walk like miles every single day. I do go to the gym every week. I don't have a set day, which I should get better about now, honestly. So I feel good now, and I have lost weight, but not on purpose. So I actually just last week sat down with Annika and put together like a workout program. I do really feel like I have built my life that I've wanted, and now I need to flourish in that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think that I'm ever gonna be the girly that lets myself get so obsessed with the gym, because that can be, you know, just as unhealthy. So I just want to really develop something that works for me as a healthy, fit adult. There are lots of questions about confidence on this, and I truly cannot say this enough. It is fake it till you make it. It is looking in the mirror and being like, I'm gorgeous today. And it is really thinking to your core positive thoughts about yourself. I mean, you just have to. Like, if you're not gonna love yourself, why should anyone else? If you're gonna talk shit about yourself, then what is stopping other people from talking shit about you? You know, like, I truly tried to treat myself so well. Obviously there are bad days, and obviously I don't look at myself every time I pass a mirror and think that I'm just slaying the house down, but most of the time I do. You know, and or if I don't, I at least try to tell myself that. I've said this on my Instagram before. I don't even know if I've said it here, but I have a friend, Marissa Martin. And she is just so wonderful. Hanging out with her was the first time in my life that I was getting ready with girls, and like, they weren't going to the bathroom and picking themselves apart. And it used to, I feel like, be a part of the getting ready process where you're like, I hate my nose, like my stomach is bloated. And I just had been around girls like that my whole life. And so I was like, well, I do have a big nose, or I this, or I that. And then I start hanging out with girls that are like, I look gorgeous today. And then she would speak to me like that, and I'm like, wait a second, I am looking so good tonight. So I just really feel like saying those things out loud about you, about yourself, to your friends. When someone walks in and they look gorgeous today, say that, you know? And it really not only makes you feel better, it makes that person feel better. I just feel like words of affirmation about yourself are so important.
You know what? I love myself. Even though I look like a burnt chicken nugget, I still love myself.
Thanks so much, Favor, for sponsoring this video. As you know, access to reproductive care has become much harder and unnecessarily complicated within recent years. and within recent months. That's why I love working with Favor, and I always want to share less complicated ways to take care of yourself. Their licensed medical team puts your health first, with access to affordable birth control, skincare, menstrual care, and sexual wellness products, all with an online subscription. Favor offers professionally prescribed birth control subscriptions and carries over 120 FDA-approved birth controls. Most brands of birth control are free with insurance or Medicaid. Otherwise, prices start as low as $7 a month without insurance. Favor, of course, delivers this to you to your door in discreet packaging, along with self-care gifts and goodies. Right now, when you go to heyfavor.com/Jennica, Favor is offering a $10 donation to bedsider.org. Your donation will help low-income individuals get access to birth control through bedsider.org. That's heyfavor.com/Jennica to get your first birth control care package and donate to help more women in need of affordable birth control. That's heyfavor.com/Jennica, and you must use the link to make a donation. Thanks so much, Favor, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Okay, next question. Was your boob reduction worth it? Girl. Okay? If you are even contemplating a breast reduction, get it. I mean, this surgery changed my life. Like, I'm able to do so much more without a large chest. I'm able to wear so much more without a large chest, and I'm just more comfortable. There has been so many issues that I was having that have alleviated from having my breast chopped in half, and I would highly recommend. Now, I was an H, fully just a H cup size of basketball, and I would say that I'm like a D now, maybe a double D. It has truly been so wonderful. I'm like a year and a half out now, and I feel like the swelling is pretty much gone. I can't say enough good things, and I do have a full video about my breast reduction process on the channel that goes into more detail if you're curious. Can y'all hear these rings just clanging? I talk with my hands, don't I? I feel like I'm doing the thing where I'm being too like formal with these questions. Do you know what I mean? Oh, my air's on. Can y'all hear that? I've tried to only been turning the air on in between questions because it's a little hot up in here. I'm just gonna do it. I'm sorry. I have to. Okay, moving on. See, I should have been acting like this the whole time. This is me. I get so nervous. See, sometimes in videos, the first like 4 minutes, I'm like, are you okay, girl? It just takes me a second to get in the groove. Film it every single time. I don't know why. Okay. Tips for thigh chafing. I have got you. My thighs will chafe so bad. Sometimes they will literally get bruised. So what I have found that works for me the best, I will take my deodorant and I will just like this, take the stick and just put it directly in between where my thighs are going to be rubbing together, because the deodorant has just such that like feel. It lasts longer than like a lotion. I mean, if you don't have deodorant with you and you need something, lotions are fine. Even sometimes I'll put like a tanning oil or just something that can have like some friction down there. But I have found that what works best for me is definitely deodorant. Spray deodorant or roll, it doesn't matter, deodorant. There are so many period questions and birth control questions, and that is just something I truly could talk about all day, because it's so frustrating just simply wanting to exist as a woman and not bear a child, okay? I do not want to have another baby, okay? I do not want another baby to come out of this body, okay? So why is it so hard to make that happen? I'm just not understanding. And so as far as birth controls go, the majority of my time on birth control, I've tried several things, but I think that I've been the most happy with Seasonique. I think I'm on like an off-brand of it, but it's a pill and it is daily. Who freaking likes a daily pill? I forget, and then I start my period random times. It's just awful. It's awful. And like, I'm not even sexually active. Like, I don't even want to be taking birth control. I just don't want. Anyway, so I take Seasonique. You only have a period once every 3 months, and my periods used to not be bad, but I hit those upper 20s, and my periods take me the out. Like, I would love, it's not a hysterectomy, but what's the surgery that they take your like uterus or something out, but your whatever gives you hormones is still there? Like, I literally would have that, because I don't want a period anymore. They take me out. So the Seasoniques work good for me because it's only 4 periods a year instead of 12. It's only 1 period every 3 months instead of once a month. So I find that to be a little bit more fortunate for me. Annika's on the shot. She loves the shot. The shot doesn't work for a lot of people. The doctor didn't recommend it for me because it does have a lot of like weight gain issues with people or different hormonal stuff. So what's best is truly just to talk to your doctor. I know that I love, the sponsor of this video is Favor. I love sharing sites with you guys that provides access to different kinds of birth controls, because there truly are so many. And like with Favor, they have a team that can kind of guide you in the direction of what's going to work best for you. So for me, the shot didn't work, but it works great for Annika. She loves it. She doesn't have a period at all, but she takes a shot every 3 months, and when the end of that 3 months is coming up, we can always tell. So she does that. I've never ever liked the idea of an IUD, but I really just think that it's coming to the point where I'm gonna have to get that. Like, with the state of things in this country right now and women's reproductive issues and care, I just don't want to take freaking chances, to be totally honest. And although I don't love the idea of something foreign being in my body, especially when I'm not sexually active, I like even less the idea of a foreign human being inside of my body. So I just think that I'm gonna do an IUD. That way I don't miss any days and it takes your period away. Thank the Lord. I can have it in there for a long time. I think it's like 7 years. Please do not quote me on that because I don't know. And that way, within those 7 years, the US can hopefully get their shit together and figure out what's going on. But I just don't think that I have room. With me truly not wanting to have a child, I think that an IUD is gonna be the best option for me. I don't know, we'll see. There have truly been so many different, but I feel like all the stories I hear are always like, well, my friend, or I heard, or my friend's friend, or my friend's sister. It's like nobody ever from point of view. So if I go down that route, I will absolutely take you guys along. I mean, I won't take you guys along fully on that journey, but if I end up getting an IUD, I will definitely let you know how I'm feeling, what I'm going through. But right now I take Seasonic and it's fine. It gets the job done, but I just don't, it's not Seasonic that I'm like unhappy with. I like that. It's fine with my body. It works with me. I just hate taking a pill every single day when the only reason that I'm taking this pill is to not have a baby, and I literally don't have sex. So like, me not having sex should be, I don't know why I whispered that, but I don't know if YouTube's gonna have an issue with that or not. But anyway, I'm not sexually active. So I feel like when I'm not sexually active, I shouldn't have to be taking this. But what happens if I'm out with my friends and I do go home with somebody this weekend? Do you know what I mean? Like, or what happens if, which I, you know, don't see that happening in the near future at all. But you know, there are some things that happen that are against your wishes, and I just want to be covered. I just want to be covered. So my number one recommendation as far as birth control goes is truly, it has to be what works for you, and you are able to change. Just because you've been on something for years doesn't mean you can't try something out. Just like I mentioned, my periods have gotten so much worse. I might need to change from something that I've been on since I've been in high school. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just gonna have to be what works best for your body, but you can take birth control for any reasons. You can take birth control for cramps, to regulate hormones, for acne, for, you know, pregnancy prevention, whatever the case may be. There are so many good things about birth control, and I know that there are so many people that don't like birth control or that have had bad experiences, so they write it off. But I'm just telling you guys, no side effect from birth control is worse than side effects from pregnancy. If you live life like you think that it's not gonna happen to you, like I'm here to tell you, it definitely could happen to you. So just please be prepared and be smart and be protective over your body, because nobody cares about your body as much as you do. Tips on doing things alone without setting off my anxiety: errands, shopping, self-dates, etc. This is great, and this kind of ties in our question from earlier. I feel like it's a trendy thing to say right now, but I really feel like romanticizing things just changes the game. I take care of myself the best when I'm watching and getting inspiration from other people. I love Danielle Carolyn for self-care vlogs. Every vlog that I watch of hers, I want to take better care of myself. I'm like, I deserve a green juice. She just does such a good job about being light and, I don't know, just caring about herself. So many tiny little things that she does throughout her days. I'm just like, she does such a good job at taking care of herself, and it inspires me too. Do you know what I mean? I also have been loving watching Madison Sarah on YouTube, and she also, again, does such a good job about taking care of herself and getting in routines. So for me, I like to watch other YouTubers that are going to inspire me to take care of myself. But when I grocery shop, I like to pop in my Raycons, and I like to have my little podcast on. I like to listen to music. That way, when I'm grocery shopping or if I'm doing a Target run, I will literally wear my Raycons because I want to be calm and I want to enjoy that experience. And if I'm not listening to music or a podcast, then my brain is going 90 to nothing, and I am probably overthinking everything that I'm doing, what people are thinking about me, what aisle I'm going down. I can't do that. So I found if I have got something going on in my brain or my ears, then I really am truly able to maximize that experience and like experience it at peak joy. So number one tip there is to definitely keep headphones with you. Pop those headphones in, play your favorite music while you're doing your walk. Like, music and podcast to me elevate any experience. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up with this one. This one says, let's talk about enjoying singleness. I have been single for 12 to 13 years and I love it. I love it. I feel like it was kind of an accident at first. I was definitely in high school specifically was a relationship girly. Like I jumped from boyfriend to boyfriend, but that just kind of ended. I feel like when I started college, I only had like every other weekend when Annika was at her dad's to really experience being an 18-year-old in college, or 19, 20, whatever the year was. And so I really just tried to be a 20-year-old girl on those weekends or whatever. And I don't know, I really did in high school think that I would be married young, have more kids young, like, and it just didn't happen like that. And I'm honestly so thankful it did, because I just would have never found this version of Jennica if that would have been the case. So I really, really think that singleness is so underrated. I know that my life has only been positively impacted by me being single these last, 10 years, whatever, because I really have been able to focus on me and developing a relationship with me. And now if I do end up with somebody, I know who I am, and if I am going to be with someone, they are only going to bring me happiness. Like I've worked on myself so much that I'm like peak happy. If someone else comes into my little bubble, they can't just evenly make me happy. It's got to be like above and beyond, you know what I mean? Because I am truly so happy with myself, and I really don't know that I want to date again ever. Like at least, I can't even see within the next 2, 3, 4 years. I'd never say never, truly. I'm never gonna close any door completely except for birthing children, but I don't see myself dating again. I think that you can find happiness in singleness, but then also find yourself and want to spend the rest of your life with a partner. But there are some girls and there are some women that just don't want to get married. And that's unfortunate for me, because I truly want to have a wedding. When I was a little girl and would dream about a wedding, I never dreamed about seeing a man at the end of the aisle. I just dreamed about the doors opening and then everybody looking at me and then me walking down the aisle and then there being a huge party. So maybe I'll do my 40th birthday as a wedding theme, and I'll have a wedding and there just won't be a groom. Because I've had my wedding planned since I was literally 17. I'm not kidding. I have a whole binder. I'll show you guys. I planned my whole wedding when I was 17 in a home ec class, and it's not changed. I still love everything about that wedding that I planned. I also just feel like we as a society recognize that when there's a woman, over 50, still single, there's something special about her. It's not, I don't ever look at those women and I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, dang, she is still freaking killing it for herself. So I just like being single. I really, really do. I love spending time with myself. I also feel like you becoming happy with being single only is going to make you happier once you get into a relationship, because when you recognize all the ways that being single can make you happy, then that also allows you to recognize all the ways that being in a relationship can make you happy. So I just feel like there are truly so many positives about being single. I'm obviously a little bit biased about being single because I truly do love it so much, but I think it's something that everybody should at least get to the point where they are happy being single, and then you can decide what you want to do. Okay guys, I'm gonna wrap it up after that question. I hope that you liked this style of a chatty vlog, more of a girl talk focused. I do want to try to start categorizing our chatty videos, so we'll have, some with Annika and I on, relationships with your mom, or relationships with your daughter or your child. We'll do some with relationships with boys, we'll try to make them a little bit more not free for all, because when they're free for all, that's when I go for an hour and a half and don't stop talking. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please do me the favor of subscribing down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Also, I did get sunburnt yesterday, so even though it is hot in this car, this is a sunburn mostly.